Help me hit 7,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and share your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. I never expected the end of my relationship to start over brunch on a lazy Sunday morning. We'd met at that same cafe 3 years earlier, back when she wore that blue dress and laughed like she didn't care who stared. Back then I thought her laugh was the sound of home. Her name's Claire. We'd been together for almost 5 years, living together for 3. We'd shared rent, dreams, passwords, playlists, everything two people could without a ring. I'd even started browsing engagement rings, saving photos in a hidden folder on my phone. That morning she stirred her coffee, eyes darting anywhere but at me. "Ethan," she said quietly, "I have to tell you something." My stomach tightened, but I kept my voice calm. "All right. What's going on?" She inhaled deeply. "I'm getting married." For a second I laughed, because what else do you do when reality punches you square in the chest? "To who?" I asked, half joking. She looked me straight in the eye. "To Michael." The laughter died in my throat. Michael, the coworker she'd always called just a friend, the one whose texts she'd muted whenever I walked into the room, the one who somehow knew every detail about our arguments before I did. I stared at her, searching for the hint of a smirk, anything to tell me she was joking. There wasn't. Her hands trembled, but her voice stayed steady. "He proposed 2 weeks ago." I said yes. I nodded slowly, fighting the surge of heat crawling up my neck. "So that's it? You're marrying someone else while still sleeping in my apartment?" She whispered. "I was going to tell you sooner." "Right," I said, swallowing hard, between movie nights and pretending nothing's wrong. She flinched but didn't argue. That told me everything. I stood up, dropped a few bills on the table, and said the only thing that made sense in that moment. "Great, go live with him then." I didn't yell. Didn't cause a scene. Just walked out into the cold, the air sharp enough to slice through whatever was left of my denial. The next few days were a blur of quiet chaos. She moved out that Wednesday while I was at work. Took her clothes, her books, even the stupid ceramic cactus we'd bought on vacation. She left her key on the counter and a note that said, "I hope you understand." Understand what? That I'd been living with someone planning a wedding behind my back? The silence afterward was unbearable. Every corner of the apartment echoed with her ghost. Her perfume on the couch, her playlist still synced to my speaker. I tried deleting everything, but you can't erase muscle memory. Friends kept saying, "You'll be fine, man," but I didn't want fine. I wanted answers. How long had she been planning it? When did love turn into pity? One night, 2 weeks later, I went out for a drive. No destination, just the hum of the engine keeping me from thinking too much. My phone buzzed, unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something made me swipe. "Ethan, it's me," the voice said. "Claire." I didn't answer. She hesitated. "I know you don't owe me anything, but I need to explain." I pulled over, knuckles tight on the wheel. "Explain what?" "That you're engaged to your coworker?" "It's not what you think," she said softly. "I didn't cheat on you." I laughed bitterly. "That's a technicality, Claire." "I was lost," she continued. "You were distant. We stopped talking about us. He listened when you didn't." There it was, the script every betrayed person eventually hears. I bit back the urge to scream. "So you fix Lost by marrying the nearest listener?" Silence, then a whisper. "I thought I loved him. I really did." The line went quiet. I waited for her to hang up, but she didn't. Instead, she said something that twisted everything I thought I knew. "He called it off." My heart thudded. "What, Michael?" "He backed out yesterday. Said he couldn't go through with it. Said I still talk about you too much." I didn't respond. I just sat there, the city lights blurring through my windshield, wondering how betrayal could circle back into heartbreak again. "I don't know what to do," she said finally. "I made a mistake." I didn't answer right away. There was something hollow in her voice, a kind of regret that used to make me want to fix things. But I wasn't that man anymore. "Not after everything. Claire," I said finally, "you made a choice. You wanted a different life. You found it," she exhaled shakily. "It's gone now, Ethan." He changed his mind. I stared out the window at the empty street, neon reflections sliding across my windshield. "That's not my problem anymore," I said quietly. "You burned the bridge, remember?" There was a soft sob on the other end. "I know I did. I miss you." I wanted to believe her. God, a part of me did. The same part that once thought love could survive anything if you just tried hard enough. But I'd already spent years trying. "Claire, do you even understand what you did?" I asked, voice low. "You planned a wedding while sleeping next to me. You were already gone before you said the words." "I was scared," she whispered. "Scared of staying and scared of leaving. I didn't mean to hurt you." "You just didn't want to feel guilty," I said. The silence that followed told me I was right. After that call, I didn't sleep. I sat in the dark thinking about how love can turn into habit and habit into silence. Somewhere along the line, we stopped being partners and became just two people afraid of starting over. The next morning, I blocked her number. It wasn't anger, it was self-preservation. Weeks passed. The world moved on. I threw myself into work, the gym, meaningless routines that at least kept the quiet away. But every so often, I'd catch myself looking at that empty side of the bed, half expecting her laugh, her scent, her presence. It's strange how even betrayal can feel familiar. Then one Saturday I ran into her. It was at the grocery store of all places. She was standing in the produce aisle, hair tied back, a cart half full. She froze when she saw me. For a moment neither of us moved. "Hey," she said softly. "Hey." She looked smaller somehow, not physically, but in spirit. The confidence she once carried like armor was gone. "You look good," she said, trying to smile. "I am good," I replied. And I meant it, she nodded, biting her lip. I wanted to say I'm sorry. Not for the wedding, not for Michael. Just for how I made you feel like you weren't enough. "That's the thing, Claire," I said. "I was enough. Just not for you." Her eyes glistened. "I know." For a moment, it was like time folded back on itself. I remembered every little thing. Late-night drives, shared jokes, even the quiet arguments we thought didn't matter. They all felt so distant now, like scenes from a movie I'd stopped watching halfway through. She reached out, then stopped halfway. "I don't expect anything," she said. "I just wanted to tell you that I finally understand what I lost." I nodded slowly. "And I understand what I gained." She blinked. "What's that?" "Peace," I said. She smiled sadly. "You always were better at walking away." "No," I replied. "I just learned that sometimes staying costs more." We stood there for a few seconds, two ghosts in the produce aisle, before I picked up my basket and walked away. I didn't look back. Not because I didn't care, but because I finally did for myself. That night I sat on my balcony, watching the city lights flicker like distant stars. It's funny how endings look like chaos up close, but from far enough away, they form patterns, like constellations connecting pain and growth in perfect symmetry. I realized something then. Love doesn't die when someone leaves. It dies when you stop recognizing yourself trying to make them stay. Claire didn't ruin me. She revealed me. She showed me the line between loving someone and losing yourself in them. I poured myself a drink, raised it slightly to the quiet skyline, and whispered, "Here's to walking away before you disappear completely." For the first time in months, I smiled, not because I'd won, but because I'd finally stopped losing.